And this is how we wrap up the program. Let's remind you what's the big news this week. Nigeria's new investor and exporters FX window clocks 1 year tomorrow, the 24th. The first year, 12 months, 365 days of trading of this new window via the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange. Remember all the backstory on how we arrived at the I&E window. This time last year, it was really hot, a blistering period for the central bank led by Godwin Emefiele. Now the I&E window seemed to be the real solution as we are today, and that I&E window has seen about 46, close to 50 billion US dollars traded on that window. We came into this market, the I&E window, a year ago with about $6 billion deficit. Nigeria couldn't pay. We hardly use our ATM cards around the world. We could hardly use them via POS. Then the central bank and the bank says we couldn't take more than $50 per day out of that. All that nonsense has changed, and the I&E window seemed to be that silver bullet. We have a major interview tomorrow and down the rest of the week, and how this I&E window has helped Nigeria, not just the FX market, but to save Nigeria the embarrassment of the monies locked within this economy over the last few years, as we saw oil prices down to the bottom and our foreign reserves hit the bottom of the barrel. Now we're seeing oil around 73, 75. Early this morning, the current administration have seen oil prices recover 150% since February of 2016. So all this we'll discuss and we'll take a look at where we are going of the next 1 year of the I&E window. Meantime, we're still looking for the budget 2018 with all the stories in the news and on the social media about whether some monies were taken out of the excess crude account without approval of the legislature. The National Assembly says they will pass the New Year budget, 2018 budget, on Thursday, the 26th. My question is, will they make good that promise to pass the budget this week? If that fails, then we will have the month of May to look positive and see whether this will come into play. Meantime, President Buhari will be in Washington later this week for his first face-to-face meeting in the White House with President Donald Trump of the United States. They will talk about security, trade, investment, and business. And you have heard earlier from Professor Waleke, he thinks security should be number one. He believes that without security, you won't have trade, you will not have business, and there'll be no investment. What's your vote? Put it in our email address, or just put it on our social media. That's faster these days, isn't it? You know where to find us on Twitter, at Channels TV, or at Beast Morning, or at B Bolson. We're all down to business. Meantime, the Dangote Foundation has tinkered with the name, now includes Aliko in the name, and that is now reading, quote, Aliko Dangote Foundation, end of quote, because the organization says it's now formalizing its identity transition and says this reorganization is in tune with making sure that the foundation reverts to its original mission as the private philanthropy of Aliko, Mr. Aliko Dangote himself, and not necessarily that of the Dangote business group. Now, the foundation has 9 members. Aliko at the top of the table, and you have some other names like Aibuje Aigimokwere, former president of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Adiola Hajara, who is the founder of Lotus Capital, as well as Yvonne Ike, who is the managing director and head of Sub-Saharan Africa at Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Quite a few other names are there. You want to check this out. What do we have this morning? Yes, the analysts are running all over the Stanbic IBTC numbers, first quarter that came in on Friday. What do we have? Profit before tax, 43% year-on-year, 27 billion naira. Revenue was mixed. Total revenues a healthy 20% year-on-year by Stanbic IBTC, offsetting a 47% year-on-year rise in operating expenses. Then the lender has a 1.5 billion naira right back into his balance sheet, and that helped the bank come up with a very nice full-year profit after tax. Then you have this earnings. This earnings is about 34% better than the forecast by FBN analysts. As I said, we have a lot more about this and more in our news, don't we? And the news team is just getting started. Let's give way to them as business will return to you in the next 24 hours. I'll see you again tomorrow.